each other. And so I hope that's what we can do as a part of this panel. I started the Sister to Sister Conference in 1993. It was a vision that I had because I had just turned 30 and I thought I was having a midlife crisis. You know, you have those milestone birthdays and you start to ask yourself, am I doing what I thought I would be doing? Is my relationship where I thought it would be? Am I doing the career that I thought? And I had this idea and I took it to my boss slash sister friend slash soror, Lillian Johnson of Tau Lambda Omega. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if we had a conference where we could just focus on us for a day? And what we thought would be one day has evolved into a conference that has lasted for 32 years.
Wow.
And one of the thought I was having a midlife crisis. Now at 62, I know that was my practice midlife crisis because I've had the real one. But what I know is when we bring women to women in particular, we are expected to be everything for everybody. And I don't know about you, but that's not working for me. And as alpha women, we're expected to do so much in our community because we are the first and the finest. But what I think we have to do is be honest about how we are doing. We have to look out for each other.
Was in HR capacities with other healthcare organizations. I have in fact been in HR for over 30 years. And what I know to be true is in any aspect, you have to identify what are your core principles and be very, very clear about what those are. Especially within HR, and everybody knows, you are seeing it at work, and certainly I'm seeing it just like you are at work. We're being redefined. Black women leadership is being redefined, and we're being attacked. And so what I found to be true is find out what your North Star is, and be very clear with yourself about what that North Star is, and just really make it non-negotiable, right? Something that I've been focusing on and meditating about this year is a book by Mel Robbins called The Let Them Theory. Is anybody familiar with that? So for those of you who haven't, so if you have not, it's based on a very simple principle that trying to change others or control their actions, who they are, and quite frankly, I don't have the right to expect other people to change to accommodate my needs any more than I would expect for someone to impose their needs on me.
Be whole for their family and their friends.
Well, I'm so glad you asked. And I'm so glad that you used the word ritual instead of routine, because it really should be sacred that we take care of ourselves. So I want to start by everything that everyone has said. But the thing that I would add is I challenge you to consider all of these tips as tips that are in your toolkit. We all have a toolkit of things that we can grab for, right? Many of you who have known my story know that I became a widow at 36 years old. And so you talk about just heart-wrenching, just a horrible experience. But what I did was I searched within my toolkit. When I was in, it's always harder at night, grief is, right? When I was in those moments, I had a journal by my nightstand. And I would just pull it out when it was those really, really just gut-wrenching moments, and I would just start free writing and just write whatever was on my mind. I had this fear that I would lose memories, and so I would just write down memories, and every time by the end of it, I would feel better. Soror Kennedy started this conference, which by the way has been amazing. She started it by saying we want to leave with tips that will make us stronger leaders and stronger individuals. And so I wanted to challenge myself. Anytime I grabbed the mic, I wanted to leave everyone with a tip. So first, I want you all to say, because I love interaction, I deserve joy.
I deserve joy.
I deserve love.
I deserve love.
I absolutely deserve to set boundaries when needed.
I absolutely.
No is a complete sentence.
No, it was a complete sentence.
These are all things that we really need to internalize. And the last thing I want to leave you with, the last tip, has anyone ever heard of the power of like a five things you're grateful for, or turning, instead of saying I have to, saying I get to? Here's one. I have this supercharged gratitude practice that I've been doing lately. So think of something you're grateful for, right? This morning, I saw a beautiful sunrise. Everyone say savor gratitude.
Savor gratitude.
The art of savoring is extending the feeling, right? So when we savor gratitude, we want to hold on to that feeling as long as we can. It's an evidence-based practice. So savoring, step one is just appreciating the sunrise, right? Step two is taking it a step further and really looking at that sunrise, appreciating the colors, thanking God for the ability to see it, just savoring that as long as you can. All right, so here goes the supercharge process.
I would say start now, do it now. Start making you a priority now. I used to be the person who said first God, then family, then career, which sounds really, really good, until I realized that I was nowhere on the list. Wow. So now it's first God, because I don't want to get in trouble with Jesus. So much more to give. So start now taking care of you.
That's something that you do every day. Like, people think self-care is this major thing that you do, like, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation. It's something that you do every day. What do you do for yourself every day? Make sure that making sure that you are eating lunch every day. It's not at your desk. We say that all the time. It's not in your car, because I have staff that are out in the community seeing clients. It's not in your car. Make sure that you're making that time to eat, to sleep, that you're getting good rest, making sure that you are exercising. And my doctor is in here. I know, Cassandra, 30 minutes, I'm walking around the block, I got you. Making sure that you are exercising, making sure that you're eating, making sure that, we have desk jobs, some of us. We wear Fitbits that tell us to get up. They're telling us that for a reason. Get up and move, whether it's putting on your favorite song, and we were line dancing after lunch, making sure that you're doing something for yourself. When you come in from work, that you don't immediately jump into whatever, take that time to decompress. Every day, that you're doing something for yourself every day. It's not the big things, it's not anything that costs money. Making sure that you are taking care of yourself, and boundaries. I didn't start setting boundaries with people until I was in my 40s. Don't wait that long to do that. Make sure that you are clear about what you will and won't do, and make sure you set that very early.
My comment to that was the same thing. When I said it is easy, I started doing self-care at 50. I was working at Ohio State in the emergency department, one of the largest ERs in the country, watching people die alone. Pivoted, now I'm a case manager. I work in the ER. I still help ER patients, but I had to start taking care of myself and leaving work at work. You have to be able to push that and keep it at work so that you have energy and time for your friends and your family. You can't keep pushing stuff under the rug, because the dirt just finally comes out. I have another question.
Well, sorry, my voice is loud. Can everybody hear me? Not loud enough? Okay. One of the things that I think is really important is for you, wherever you happen to be employed or wherever you happen to volunteer, is to look very closely at what that employer is doing right now in the environment that we're in. In other words, if your organization completely obliterated their DEI programs, let that be a bellwether for you. Because there are employers that did not completely obliterate those programs, but they changed them in a way such that they could preserve the spirit of that work and still continue some of that work on, right? So it was really interesting as I was watching other employers and how they were responding to a lot of the pressures that were coming from the federal level. And I think there were some major employers here in Ohio, and how best you can be an ally for them. If those groups don't exist at your employer, please go to your HR group and ask them to start it, or start it yourself. If you are not well received in your HR